In 1955, the British historian Cyril Northcote Parkinson made an interesting observation while watching the work of office workers. He realized that all work, no matter how complex, tends to take exactly as long as the time allotted. To illustrate, he recounted a thought-provoking story. A group of employees were assigned to complete a report within 3 months. They began with the first few days full of leisurely confidence, assuming there was plenty of time ahead. 3 weeks passed with only meaningless meetings and endless procrastination. In the 4th week, they began preparing materials and making preliminary edits, but still didn't really get down to business. Only in the last 2 days before the deadline did the tension rise. They finally concentrated all their energy and completed the report at the last minute. The surprising thing was that the report was completed in those 2 days as if the previous 3 weeks had never existed. Parkinson's story is not just a picture of the 20th century, but also a reflection of the way many of us work today. Ask yourself, how many times have you left work piled up until the last minute? Not because you are incompetent or lack ability, but because we often let time overwhelm us and do not use our energy effectively. This is why working smart is more important than working hard. When you know how to manage your time and focus on what is really important, you will produce greater results without having to wait until the last minute. This book will not only stop at theory but also show you how to turn each working day into a steady step so that you achieve more without sacrificing your health or peace of mind. The standard in the modern workplace is more, bigger, and faster. We have more customers to please, more emails to answer, more calls waiting, more things to do, more meetings to attend, more places to go, and always feel ourselves have to work more hours to not fall behind. The massive amount of information, convenient communication technology is everywhere. The transaction system increases exponentially, creating a feeling of urgency. The culture of faster, bigger, farther seems to create more outstanding value. But the reality is not quite like that. Too many good things sometimes make everything worse. Today, workers pay a high price for a busy work culture. We work more, longer, later, but continuously fall into a vicious cycle of decline. Reduced ability to concentrate, less time for assigned work, fewer opportunities to think carefully and for a long time. Health conditions decline, always in a state of stress, feeling that there is no longer enough health to relax and enjoy life. In 2003, Tony Schwartz's research team established the Energy Project. This project had more than 12,000 people from 3 countries participate in order to help organizations understand the needs of employees. After more than a year of implementation, the results showed that most employees were in a state of exhaustion, anxiety, and did not feel satisfied. 64% of participants slept less than 7 to 8 hours per day. 73% of participants had difficulty focusing on one thing for a certain period of time. 6% regularly felt uncomfortable, lost their temper, or worried at work. 66% said that what they do at work is because of requirements, not what they are allowed to do. 6% spent too little time on the work they are good at and want to do. 80% said they spent too much time responding to immediate requests instead of focusing on things that have long-term value and usefulness. Health and quality of life decreased significantly. Therefore, The culture of busyness still makes us believe that we must work harder if we want to reap success. However, according to the author, this is completely a wrong point of view. We are led by the deadly assumption that the best way to achieve more is to spend more time on work and work continuously. But the more we work, the longer we work without rest, the more we cannot complete our responsibilities, lack flexibility, and have behaviors that reduce work efficiency, such as losing our temper, being irritable, losing focus, and being sluggish. Working continuously does not mean increasing productivity. The truth is, to achieve success, we need to have a smart way of working. Working smart is understood as when you proactively create a high concentration efficiency rhythm in a specific period of time. Then spend time resting and relaxing. Humans cannot operate like high-speed computers continuously and for a long time. In reality, we humans live at a fixed and regular pace. Working smart is not just simply combining work and rest. The most important thing about this method is learning how to use and manage energy sources well to achieve maximum efficiency. According to the author, the current transaction of exchanging time for money of workers is a weak, one-way transaction because each party is trying to take as much of the other party's resources as possible. But both cannot satisfy their real needs. Everything can change for the better when individuals truly connect with work and life by nurturing energy sources, utilizing and developing the strength they possess. At the same time, organizations and businesses that use labor resources need to learn how to encourage and create conditions for each individual to utilize the power of dedication, concentration, and passion to ignite the heat of work. Only when the important needs of each individual are fully met, then work efficiency will develop strongly. 4 basic needs of people. Physical sustainability is our ability to take care of ourselves. Be healthy and strong through areas such as nutrition, health, sleep, and rest. Physical energy is extremely important because it is the foundation that provides energy for all human activities. Unfortunately, with a work culture of more, faster, and more pressure like today, most of us choose to ignore taking care of ourselves. We often stay up all night to work, don't get enough sleep, don't exercise enough, eat too much or too little. We eat fast food, high in sugar, and no longer have enough time to rest and relax. So our bodies are always in a state of exhaustion and weakness. Emotional safety is the need to be accepted and feel valued. Our emotions have a great influence on our ability to work. If we feel no longer valuable to others, it will push us into a state of survival, such as feeling fear, anxiety, loss of focus, feeling drained of energy. On the contrary, when we can feel positive energy or when in an optimal state, these states help us feel better, become more steadfast when facing challenges and pressures in life. Psychological self-expression is the ability to express oneself, to show one's talents and uniqueness. Self-expression helps people increase their ability to concentrate and have the motivation to complete their work well. However, in a world of countless distractions and many demands like today, we always have to juggle many things at the same time, unable to focus on anything for a long time. Lack of focus will affect the quality of life, the way we work, manage time. Spiritual meaning is considered an internal source of energy that guides our thoughts and behaviors. When we identify what we represent, this value will keep us steady before changes. affecting our choices in life. To have a healthy life, increase work efficiency, and not be caught up in a hasty pace of life. Author Tony Schwartz recommends that each person actively participate in adjusting and optimizing all four sources of energy. Starting with developing personal awareness, because we cannot change what we don't realize. Starting with recognizing ourselves while expanding awareness with a long-term vision to overcome immediate satisfaction. A broad vision to regularly overcome narrow personal interests to aim for the benefits we create more value for the community. A deep vision to observe ourselves. Learn to accept things that cannot be changed. Develop optimal values to become a unique individual. Change habits. 90% of people operate based on available habits. Reduced health and work efficiency may be because you are operating with ineffective automatic habits. One important thing: if you are a full-time employee for a company or organization, you need to learn how to establish and build a relationship between yourself and your organization. How to establish and build four main sources of human energy: physical sustainability, emotional safety, the foundation for a steady soul. Imagine the feeling of being abandoned at a party with friends when everyone is laughing and having fun. But you feel lonely. This not only makes you sad but also reduces your self-confidence significantly. Emotion is a delicate compass. Just a slight deviation can cause us to slip into fear and fatigue. However, when working in a positive environment where you are listened to and feel valued, work efficiency will increase significantly. As Tony Schwartz once said, emotional energy is like the sun. Without it, everything becomes cold. A humorous example is that a cat, when petted, will lie down and wag its tail happily. But if left hungry and neglected, it will become uncomfortable and even mischievous. Humans are the same. When they feel valued, they will shine. Conversely, without recognition, they easily lose motivation. Psychological self-expression is about discovering true potential. The ability to express oneself is how we affirm our presence in this vast world. But it is not easy to focus when every phone notification is urgent and social networks are a maze with no way out. If you want to do one thing well, we must learn to cut out noise. For example, you are writing a report but are constantly being called by colleagues to ask about small things or receive messages asking what to eat for dinner. Can you do anything effectively? The secret here is to prioritize what is important. Like when Michelangelo was asked how to create the statue of David. He replied, "I just remove what is not David." That is the art of concentration. Spiritual meaning is the compass for the right choices. Have you ever felt confused before a major turning point in your life? Determining spiritual meaning helps us orient ourselves. Like the light from a lighthouse illuminating the night. For example, some people give up stable jobs to pursue their passion for art or start a business because they believe that it brings meaning to their lives. When we understand clearly what we represent, all actions become clear and consistent. A small decision such as refusing to work overtime to spend time with family is also an action that lives up to spiritual values. How do I optimize all four sources of energy? 1. Personal awareness starts with observing and understanding yourself. Ask yourself, what do I really want? Where am I wasting energy? When you have the answer, you will stop chasing short-term gratification and focus on long-term goals. 2. Change habits. Habits are the automation of life. Instead of waking up with your phone, start your day with a short meditation. It not only helps you reduce stress but also regenerates energy effectively. 3. Build relationships. A supportive and connected work environment will boost morale more than any bonus. Take the time to communicate, empathize, and grow together with colleagues. Conclusion: life is not just a race against time but also the art of energy management. When you learn how to recognize, change habits, and build relationships, you will not only work more efficiently but also enjoy life to the fullest. And remember, don't be too serious. Sometimes a smile is enough to recharge the emotional battery for the whole day. Sleep. If physical energy is the foundation for all energy, then sleep is the foundation of physical energy. The National Sleep Foundation recommends that a quality sleep for a person lasts from 7 to 9 hours. The director of the Sleep and Neuroimaging Laboratory at the University of California, Berkeley, once said, "We always think that we have to stay awake to get more things done. I think this is very wrong. In fact, if you have a good night's sleep, you will find that you can do more work." In his memoir, White Nights, former Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin recounts his experience of sleep deprivation when he was a prisoner in a prison of the Russian National Security Committee. In the head of a prisoner being interrogated, a fog descends. The spirit is exhausted to death. The legs tremble, and there is only one desire: to sleep. Anyone who has experienced it will understand that the desire to sleep is so strong that even hunger and thirst cannot be compared. Lack of sleep seriously affects physical health. A Harvard University health study conducted on 80,000 nurses over 25 years showed a strong link between regular sleep deprivation and the risk of many diseases, including breast cancer, stomach cancer, and cardiovascular disease. Nurses who slept an average of 5 hours a night were more likely to develop cardiovascular disease than those who slept 6 hours. Those who slept 6 hours were more likely to develop the disease than those who slept 7 hours. Absolutely. Here's the text with the corrections, formatting, and emphasis you requested. The rate of nurses working night shifts for many years is 60% higher than others. The consequences of lack of sleep and insufficient sleep have a huge impact on our health. Recognizing the harmful effects of sleep deprivation is half the battle won when we underestimate the price we pay for sleeping too little. So how do we sleep properly when we realize the importance of getting enough sleep? We need to choose to prioritize sleep more, starting by going to bed earlier. If you can't wake up earlier than usual, the key to sleep is relaxation. Or use sleep aids such as listening to meditation music, drinking herbal tea, or reading a picture book. Avoid abusing sleeping pills or alcoholic beverages because in the long run, they cause side effects. A way to sleep naturally is to lie still for 30 to 60 minutes before turning off the lights. You need to avoid all the stimuli before bedtime such as emails, browsing social networks, the internet, and conversations. Sleep is the foundation of health and performance. Sleep is not only the time for the body to rest but also the time to regenerate energy, repair damage, and promote overall health. Author Matthew Walker, a sleep expert, once said, "Sleep is the most powerful tonic that nature bestows." This proves that getting enough sleep is not only a need but also a vital factor. Sleep deprivation. The price we are paying. The story of former Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin illustrates a cruel truth: when sleep is deprived, all functions from mental to physical decline. Even the desire to sleep can surpass both hunger and thirst. A Harvard University study also showed the link between sleep deprivation in serious conditions such as cancer, cardiovascular disease, and cognitive decline, especially for those who have to work overnight. The risk of disease is even higher. This is not just a warning but an alarm for anyone who is neglecting sleep. How to sleep properly. 1. Prioritize sleep. Change your schedule. If you can't wake up later, try to go to bed earlier. Treat sleep as an important appointment that you must not miss. Build a regular sleep habit. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. This helps the body establish a stable circadian rhythm. 2. Prepare before sleep. Relax your mind. Spend 30 to 60 minutes before going to bed to relax. You can read a book, listen to music, meditate, or sip a warm cup of herbal tea. Avoid stimuli. Say goodbye to social media, emails, work, and electronic devices before bedtime. The blue light from the screen can disrupt melatonin, a hormone that helps you feel sleepy. Create an ideal sleep environment. Keep your bedroom dark, quiet, and cool. Invest in a suitable mattress and pillow for the most comfortable sleep. Avoid drinking coffee or alcohol at least 4 to 6 hours before going to bed. 3. When you have difficulty sleeping, if you find it hard to fall asleep, don't force yourself to toss and turn. Get up and do a relaxing activity. Then go back to bed when you feel a little sleepy. Some humor about sleep. People often joke that only when you lack sleep do you realize that you have wasted your youth on staying up late unnecessarily. Or the famous saying on social media, "Life is not like a dream. Only sleep is beautiful." This is a fun reminder that sleep is not only a need but also a gift for us to love ourselves more. Conclusion. Investing in sleep is investing in yourself. When you sleep enough and properly, your body and mind will function optimally, helping you be healthier, more creative, and face life with energy. So love sleep, your irreplaceable companion of health and success, movement and development. In a meta-analysis of hundreds of studies, a London research team concluded that exercise helps improve mental health and happiness, reduces sadness and anxiety, and increases cognitive ability. In a study called SMILE, Standard Medical Intervention and Long-Term Exercise, the research team found that vigorous exercise for 30 to 45 minutes each time, 3 times a week, is as effective as antidepressants in reducing symptoms. Regular exercise has also been shown to reduce anxiety symptoms and prefrontal cortex contraction symptoms. We also gradually become healthier when muscles are trained. The cardiovascular system and digestive system operate rhythmically. Exercise enhances physical health is an important step to help us have more health for work. So how should we exercise? According to the American College of Sports Medicine and the American Heart Association, we should spend 3 to 6 days for moderate physical activity, 20 to 45 minutes each time. Scientists also recommend that we can divide that time into 2 or 3 times a day, 10 or 20 minutes each time. Rest, similar to sleep, helps us work more productively. According to research, The average American wastes 439 million paid vacation days a year. In 2008, 1/3 of Americans said they never take vacations. 33% planned a 7-day vacation or less. And 14% planned a 2-week vacation. However, more and more studies show a direct link between work performance and rest. A 2016 study conducted by the Ernst & Young accounting team showed that with 10 hours of rest that employees have each month, their work productivity increased by 8%. Nutrition. Today, our work is no longer as hard as before thanks to the support of technology. Yet the amount of food we consume is increasing beyond the needs of our bodies. We often eat a lot of high-calorie foods that are not good for our health, such as fast food and sugary drinks. This causes diseases such as hyperglycemia, diabetes, and obesity. Strict dieting also causes a feeling of deprivation. Then when we cannot control ourselves, we eat too much, which causes the yo-yo phenomenon, leading to failure in weight loss. Conversely, if you eat too little of what your body needs, then load your body with a large amount of high-calorie food, it will seriously affect your health. So what should we eat? Do not eliminate the need and desire to eat attractive foods from your life. Satisfy it when your body wants, but you can choose to eat those foods in small quantities. Besides, you need to actively create a suitable diet for yourself. One of the secrets to help you control your diet effectively is that before eating any dish, decide in advance what you will eat, how much you will eat, and how long each meal will be. In your diet, choose to add foods that break down from the blood with a low glycemic index, such as fruits and vegetables in the daily diet table. If you are office workers, to limit eating snacks such as milk tea, candy, you can actively prepare nuts, fruits, and pre-cut fruits to supplement healthy energy for the body. Emotional safety. Emotions affect work performance. Our emotional chart is shown as follows. Performance zone: calm, optimistic, enthusiastic, dedicated, and eager. Survival zone: impatient, irritable, failing, angry. Recovery zone: leisurely, relaxed, secure, comfortable, and easy to learn. Exhaustion zone: exhausted, empty, bored, sad, and disappointed. When we are in our best state, confident and focused, we will work effectively and achieve good results in both work and life. Similarly, when experiencing negative emotions and stress, it will be the worst working time. This shows that emotions have a great impact on our work and life. Emotions such as anger, fear, disappointment, and loss of composure are often encountered in the workplace. Many leaders still rely on these negative emotions to achieve the results they want. When faced with conflicts with customers, bosses, and colleagues, we often have a fight or flight response. Negative events will activate the amygdala, a small area in the brain that helps process human emotions and reactions. One of the major impacts of negative emotions is that it makes us focus too much on the bad things instead of the good things. This phenomenon is called negative bias, which is the tendency of the brain to react more strongly, faster, and longer to negative things than positive things. How to manage your emotions. 1. Self-awareness of your own emotions. Managing emotions starts with recognizing and being aware of the emotions that are taking place. When faced with a strong reaction, choose to stop, Take a deep breath and calmly assess your emotions. For example, when you are angry, you can recognize that, I am angry. Then separate yourself from the situation that causes anger and think about how to respond more appropriately. Impulsive actions often cause harm and do not bring benefits. 2. Change your perspective with 3 lenses. The author proposes 3 lenses to help you manage your emotions effectively. O reflecting lens. Ask yourself, what is the truth here and what story am I telling about those truths? This lens helps you observe the problem objectively, avoiding being carried away by biased assessments. O reversing lens. Put yourself in the other person's shoes and ask yourself how they feel and why they act that way. This does not mean you give up your point of view, but rather expand your understanding by looking from the other person's perspective. O long lens. Look at negative events in the past with the question, what have I learned from it? For example, an event like losing a job can make you lose confidence. But looking back at that event can help you understand yourself better, improve shortcomings, or even find a new direction. 3. Nurture positive emotions. Besides managing negative emotions, you need to actively focus on positive things. Recognize and appreciate the real values from the things you have done. Practice gratitude and self-encouragement when completing a small task. By applying the above methods, you can build better emotion management skills, which will help improve your work performance and quality of life. And self-encouragement when completing a small task. By applying the above methods, you can build better emotion management skills, which will help improve your work performance and quality of life. Negative emotions and negative bias. Understanding to overcome. Negative emotions are like a powerful, unpredictable storm that often leaves consequences. Negative bias, or the fact that we focus too much on the bad things rather than the good things, is not your fault. That is how the brain has evolved to help our ancestors survive. Unfortunately, in modern life, this mechanism makes it easy for us to fall into a spiral of anxiety, loss of confidence, and mental exhaustion. But the good news is that emotions are not a life sentence. You can completely manage them. And the first step is to be aware of your own emotions. Managing emotions is not as difficult as you think. 1. Identify emotions. Start by naming the emotion you are experiencing. Don't judge it. For example, when you are angry, instead of thinking, I am so bad because I cannot control myself, simply acknowledge, I am feeling angry. This is like you turn on the flashlight in a dark room. When everything is illuminated, the fear will be reduced. 2. Stop and take a deep breath. When emotions surge, our first reaction is often to explode or run away. But try to stop for a moment. Take a deep breath and count to 10. This allows your brain time to think instead of reacting automatically. 3. Change your perspective. Negative emotions often come from how we interpret the situation. This is when you need the 3 precious lenses. O reflecting lens. Are you exaggerating the situation? For example, when the boss reminds you, instead of thinking, I am such a failure, ask yourself, actually, the boss just wants me to do better, right? O reversing lens. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. They may also be under pressure or have their own reasons. This helps you reduce stress and increase empathy. O long lens. Think about this feeling in the future. Will this still matter in a year? A negative event today can be a valuable lesson for tomorrow. Real-life examples and a little humor. Imagine you are stuck in a long meeting where your boss keeps pointing out your mistakes. You feel angry and want to react immediately. But instead of getting angry, you stop, take a deep breath, and apply the reflecting lens. The truth is, the boss is just trying to help me improve. I don't need to turn this into a personal tragedy. Another humorous example. If you accidentally spill coffee on your shirt in the morning, you might think, this is a sign that my whole day will be unlucky. But looking through the long lens, you will see that you have encountered worse things and survived. You can even laugh and say, well, I just added an exclusive pattern to my shirt. Nurture positive emotions. Managing emotions is not just about controlling the negative but also actively building the positive. Record small achievements. In the evening, write down 3 things you did during the day. They don't need to be big, just things you feel satisfied with. Cultivate gratitude. Be grateful for small things like a delicious cup of coffee or a compliment from a colleague. Gratitude is like a vitamin for the spirit. It helps you be healthier every day. Find joy. Spend time on things you love. A comedy movie, a favorite song, or just a few minutes watching the sunset can also add positive energy to you. Conclusion. Managing emotions is not about eliminating them but learning to live with them and harnessing their power. When you recognize, adjust, and nurture your emotions, you not only improve the quality of your life but also become stronger in the face of all challenges. And remember that sometimes a smile, looking at life more lightly, is also the most effective way to manage emotions. Besides that, you also need to learn to take responsibility for your own mistakes and failures. Understanding that each mistake and stumble is an important lesson to help you learn and develop. The ability to express yourself. The famous psychologist David Len defines mental energy as the ability to maintain for a long time the thinking about a problem, separating from distractions and continuing to find solutions. Unfortunately, we are living in an era of information overload and lack of focus more than ever. According to statistics, every day there are more than 2 billion emails sent. An estimated 75 million bloggers in 2009 and about 50 million websites. More than 500,000 books published each year along with 400,000 academic journals and 18,000 regular magazines in 2005 when Google decided the number of websites it searched. The number reached 8.168.684.3336. Not to mention that in the current working environment, taking on multiple tasks at the same time is one of the reasons for interrupting focus. According to the author, there are 2 types of distractions that break down focus: the inner voice, the constant voice in the mind, and external factors such as social networks, emails, and messages. An effective psychological habit is suggested to help you increase your ability to focus on doing the most important things. We need to spend time thinking and determining priorities instead of just jumping into the next tasks that appear in our heads and automatically reacting to the tasks that appear on the screen. Besides that, you should learn to stay away from external distractions by actively turning off social networks, placing your phone out of sight, and turning off notifications during work. Learning to nurture the brain. Our brain is divided into 2 hemispheres. The left hemisphere is responsible for language and logic. The right hemisphere is related to images, creativity, and the ability to recognize visual problems. In today's information-filled environment, our brains do not function effectively due to being affected by too many factors. So the brain easily becomes rigid and inflexible. Nurturing the brain means that you need to learn how to create conditions to balance the two hemispheres and develop them comprehensively. Nurturing the brain will help you increase your ability to think creatively. Be flexible, curious, and open-minded when learning and working. To nurture creativity, you can create a period of time to be alone in a private space. Sometimes you can nurture creativity by participating in art activities such as drawing, dancing, singing, writing a diary, or doing relaxing activities and walking. Besides that, you also need to practice planning skills and analyze the most important information sources. And most importantly, we need to take responsibility, not blame the circumstances. Learn to take responsibility for your own mistakes. Actively complete assigned work, choose the right work, and turn your work into a source of inspiration. Spiritual meaning to build inner strength. According to the author, an organization needs to clearly define a common set of values and a purpose that lies outside of revenue benefits. Everything starts with the individual. Each individual needs to clearly define the values they represent. Some suggested questions to help you understand yourself and the values you represent. Who are you? What do you represent? What do you really want? What is your purpose? Write examples for each of the above answers. Think and find the answers through your personal feelings and experiences. Only when you know what you want, what you are aiming for, what are the core values that define the person you become, and always choose to act consistently based on those values, will you build a source of strength to overcome distractions. Practicing controlling and focusing on what is important. Understanding yourself is an important foundation to help you have enough strength to overcome difficulties and pressures in work and life. Not only individuals, but organizations also need to have a common set of values to guide all their employees to follow and adhere to. Organizations should always consider switching from I to we. A healthy individual, a strong organization, and this will create breakthroughs in work. Nurturing the brain and building spiritual strength not only helps us develop ourselves but also creates a positive impact on those around us. By balancing between reason and emotion, between creativity and discipline, we can achieve a state of working effectively and happier in life. However, to truly nurture this balance, it is important that we maintain consistency in our daily habits. For example, you can apply the 3-minute method each day to look back at yourself. This is how you ask yourself 3 basic questions every night. What did I learn today? What did I do that made me proud? What could I do better tomorrow? Don't underestimate these simple questions. They're the spiritual compass that helps you stay on the right track in a world full of distractions. Besides that, to nurture creativity, learn to take advantage of small moments during the day instead of spending breaks browsing social networks. Why not try doing something different? Such as writing down a sudden idea, drawing a doodle, or even folding paper into a crane? They not only stimulate your imagination but also help you feel lighter. For example, a friend of mine, who is a software engineer, found great inspiration in writing a diary every morning. He doesn't write big things but only records small details such as how the sunlight filters through the window or the feeling when drinking a hot cup of tea. Strangely enough, those diary entries helped him solve difficult problems at work because his brain was stimulated to find creative solutions from simple things. Finally, remember that responsibility for yourself and the values you represent are the guiding stars in all actions. When you know your purpose in life, challenges will no longer be obstacles but become opportunities for development. To find your values, spend time reflecting on what makes you feel complete. Sometimes a small action, such as helping a colleague or spending time listening to a friend, can also open up about the value you want to pursue. Turn every day into an opportunity to learn, create and live true to your core values. When you do this, not only will you be stronger, but the environment around you will also be lit up by positive energy. And don't forget, sometimes the greatest lessons can come from the smallest moments, such as realizing that you are most creative when you drink coffee and watch your lazy cat lying by the window.